connect.
This is where
Okay.
it would be.
Okay. So it says it's live. Let's see if it's live on the computer. Beautiful thinking.
In the past.
In the past, yes.
This is already the past that we're watching.
Oh, good. What if it was like,
Hey, look, I'm waving at nobody.
I'm waiting for us to start an episode where we're like, oh, hello there. I didn't see you.
Oh, welcome. I didn't see you there.
Welcome.
So happy you could stop by.
Right? All right. I wanted to share this.
I think Geronimo's getting into next week's episode.
Is he? All right, let's wait for some people to hop on. Oh, wait. Okay. That was weird to hear myself laugh.
So what you gotta do is laugh, and then play it laughing, and laugh over that, and just create this infinite loop of laughing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so hi and welcome to the second episode of Friday Night Cookies, where two cookie connoisseurs come together and discuss the world's favorite dessert. I'm Kaylani.
And I'm John.
And tonight we're crumbling into the weekend with Chips Ahoy cookie, which is actually America's second most purchased cookie, behind the Oreo.
Both owned by Nabisco.
Both owned by Nabisco. And last week we actually discussed the Oreo cookie. So I'm actually going to post, if you guys want to watch that episode. It was done on my personal Facebook page. So let me leave that in the comments here. If you'd like to watch the first episode of Friday Night Cookies, you can do so at the link I just shared. So, tonight, Chips Ahoy. What's interesting about the Chips Ahoy cookie, it's not even like the first chocolate chip cookie to ever grace America, you know?
Mm-hmm. It has to be based on something.
Yeah, but it actually, this cookie came out 30 years after the original chocolate chip cookie was created, you know, and the origin story for the chocolate chip cookie, I really like it. It's kind of like an American folklore. It's the 1930s, and this husband and wife duo, Ruth and Kenneth Wakefield in Massachusetts, they run a place called Toll House, and it's a restaurant and an inn where Ruth is the cook and the baker, and it's really hazy as to how Ruth kind of came up with the chocolate chip cookie. We can't decide whether or not, you know, she measured the baker's chocolate incorrectly and it came out as the chocolate chip cookie, or one story that Nestle really tries to push is that, you know, in a haste she ran out of baker's chocolate and she grabbed Nestle chocolate chips and threw fistfuls of it into the dough, and lo and behold, the chocolate chip cookie was born. But regardless of how she came up with this wonderful cookie, a cookie that is timeless and a cookie that has remained one of America's favorite cookies, regardless of how she came to that conclusion, it was published in her and her husband's cookbook, and it like took off nationwide. Like everybody in America loved it. Even Betty Crocker called Ruth, not the company, the actual human,
Betty.
the actual Betty. Actual Betty Crocker is like, Ruth, this cookie, oh my glob, oh my god.
Do you think Betty Crocker visited the Toll House?
I don't know. That's
when the
like
world exploded.
that's something that's lost in history. But anyway, news of the chocolate chip cookie gets overseas to Switzerland to Nestle, and Nestle contacts Ruth, and they're like, Ruth, hey, we've heard about this chocolate chip cookie you have. How about selling us the recipe and giving us the rights to use the name Toll House in exchange for $1 whole and a life supply of chocolate chip cookies. And in one of the world's worst licensing fiascos, hi Geronimo, one of the world's worst licensing agreements, she's like, sure, and while you're at it, why don't you just print my recipe on the back of the bags for all of eternity? Whether or not she says that part, come here, baby. Whether or not she actually agreed to have the recipe printed on the bag is lost in history. The fact, like, what else is lost in history is that we don't even know if she even got her $1 for giving them the recipe, let alone the life supply.
Hopefully she didn't. Because of inflation, she'd have a lot more money now if she went back to Nestle and was like, give me my $1 back.
Exactly. So that's like the history of the chocolate chip cookie. But it's not until 30 years later when Nabisco actually brings out the Chips Ahoy cookie. It's 1963, the Chips Ahoy cookie is debuted, and it's really a great example as to how, like, marketing overrides quality. Like, it's not to knock the, Chips Ahoy. It's not like it's a bad cookie. It's an okay chocolate chip cookie. There is a whole world full of chocolate chip cookies that are far superior to the Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookie, and yet this is the second most sold cookie in America. Why is that? I have some theories.
Oh, you do?
I do. I have some theories as to, like, why. I think it's like the Chips Ahoy cookie is born during the golden age of advertising. I mean, it's the 1960s. We've all seen Mad Men. Like, America has all this disposable income. Everybody's just, like, buying up stuff. Home moms and homemakers, they really love, like, the packaged, processed, pre-made, quick stuff. And, like, the Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookie just fits right into the American household at that time. And, yeah, like, where does Chips Ahoy come from?
I mean, even the package is sort of red, white, and blue.
Oh, yeah.
It screams Americana.
It does scream Americana. But the name Chips Ahoy, it has, like, a kind of nautical feel to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Chips
like
Ahoy.
Ships Ahoy. Or...
Yeah, Ships Ahoy. Actually, like, Nabisco will have you believe that Chips Ahoy is just a play on words with Ships Ahoy. But I have, again, another marketing theory that, like, before the cookie came out in 1956, there was an animated short by Disney called Chips Ahoy, and it was with Chip and Dale, and they take a boat from Donald Duck to go to this island where there are a ton of acorns and, chaos ensues or whatever. But this is during a time in which Disney is kind of like the poster child of everything marketing. Like, everybody wants to follow in Disney's footsteps. You could slap a character from Disney on any product and it sells off the shelves, and everybody is just, like, following Disney's suit. I mean, this is also the year, 1955, Disneyland comes out, and it's, like, the most amazing thing in the world. 1956 is the debut of this cartoon, this animated short. And then a few years later, Chips Ahoy by Nabisco comes out. Whether or not there's some fact to it, it's just my theory.
Just another tall tale.
Just another tall tale,
it's all
yeah.
blown on itself.
But over the years, like, Chips Ahoy had some really delightful marketing. Their first marketing campaigns, which were, I guess, like, cross-platform promotions, if you could say, was like they would have these comic books, these, like, superhero comic books with a superhero called Cookie Man, which I was like, wow, how creative. Cookie Man was this comic book hero.
Was his catchphrase Chips Ahoy?
I don't know, but, like, it was like Meek Morton was his alter ego, and in kind of like a Bruce Wayne Batman kind of twist, he would, like, run into a phone booth and quickly change. Or, well, he was always, by the way, back then they claimed that every cookie had only 16 chips in it. So he'd be at his desk, like, counting all the little chocolate chips within a singular cookie. And then all hell breaks loose and he runs into a phone booth, transforms into Cookie Man, and, like, saves the day. But it was these comic strips that came out in every box of Chips Ahoy, and they would coincide with the series of commercials that were also played on television. So whatever happened on television would be completed in a comic short that was available only if you bought a box of Chips Ahoy cookies.
Hey kids, go tell your mom to go buy Chips Ahoy so you can finish the story.
Exactly. Get the parents involved in, like, bringing joy and enlightenment to a child's life, which was also the Disney message. He wanted a place for families. This is a cookie for families. Lots of family marketing. But in my day and age, it was 1,000 chips delicious was, like, the tagline.
From the 90s.
From the 90s, yeah. But anyway, let's get into some cookie tasting, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that we have, like, all the history spiel.
It has the same packaging as the Oreos, this clever lift here for resealability.
And as you can see, we've already sampled some.
No, I slid them around so you can't tell that.
Did you really?
We did not sample these cookies yet. They look delicious.
We bought them yesterday. I couldn't help myself. We decided this in the grocery store aisle. It was like this huge conversation about what tonight's episode would be about.
Mm-hmm. We glanced at the Sandies, the
There was
Nutter Butters.
there was something wrong with Keebler. There was like not a lot of Keebler selection.
Kids, if you're allergic to peanut butter, check the expiration date on your EL Fudge. Some peanuts got in.
There has been a recent recall on EL Fudge sandwich cookies due to peanut butter being introduced into that batch. So yes, it's not like anything horrible. It's not like, you know, lettuce and E. coli. It's just like peanut butter got into the batch. But anyway, all right. So here we are. Oops, that one's broken. That one's broken. I want a whole cookie.
These are the original, by the way.
Yeah. All right, these are the original. And they're like harder. They're like, I don't know.
They feel like they would be Mother's cookies that were baked 2 weeks ago. Kind of stale feeling.
Kind of stale feeling. Very crumbly. I mean, I like to dunk, like I said, my 1, 2, 3.
I don't mind dunking these.
Oh, we didn't raise our glasses. Here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Boop. To another episode. They're really lackluster. Like,
I think I could eat this whole pack.
then you can have this whole pack.
They're not
Oh,
freshly baked, but they have that artificial flavor that you just can't get enough of.
I'll just finish it. I mean, the chocolate chips are kind of my favorite part. They do actually melt. But it's not Nestle, but it'll do.
Another fun fact, I don't like to dip Oreos, but I love to dip Chips Ahoy.
Why is that?
They're not as good. You gotta add a little bit of milk to it to at least bring out the full Chips Ahoy flavor.
Yeah,
to
like
the forefront.
I like moist cookies. I'm a very like moist person. That's why I like dunking my cookies.
Plus, depending on how deep you dunk, you can get the full experience of putting the cookie in your mouth. The farther back is already kind of crumbly and wet.
Yeah.
And the forefront is a little crunchy, so you get the full extent of the sogginess to crunchiness.
It's a highly absorbent cookie. So I think it is, but dunkability, if I were to give it a dunkability score of like 1 to 5, it would have a 4. It's a very dunkable cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm more of a chewy person. So we also got the Chips Ahoy Chewies tonight.
Which, did they start out as the freshly baked, microwave these cookies, or these are your own?
I think that was the old marketing campaign, was like when they brought these out, it's like, oh hey, they're kind of like freshly baked. And you can, in fact, microwave them, and they do absorb kind of like the microwave, I don't know, heat. Like, but, you know, when I was a kid, I loved these. I preferred these over the regular cookies, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. How does it stack up to my adult palate? Because I honestly haven't had these in years.
It also looks like they have a lot fewer chips. That's something to take into account.
They do. They actually do look like they have a lot.
They look a little blander.
Are they the same size? Do you think that they're baked differently, or if they're like baked with like or different ingredients? I guess I could read the ingredients.
Yeah, but that'd be kind of boring.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read the ingredients. I don't want to read all the fake things I'm putting into my body right now.
This kind
Now
of
you're dunking this one. I don't want to dunk this one.
I want to be equal. I'll have a second one afterwards to see.
Okay.
Dunking did nothing.
I
I think the milk slid off the cookie.
just wicking powers.
So if you want to go swimming, these are the cookies to eat because they won't absorb any of the water.
Believe it or not, you're right. I thought you were just kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. I don't kid about these things.
What's weird is that this package advertises that now better tasting. Like they were worse tasting before, and they're kind of admitting it.
Well, I think that's a lie because now they're not better tasting.
They're not better tasting. I think that they taste way more like chemicals.
Just like Mom used to make.
Full of chemicals, just like Mom used to make. Well, I'd like to share a story about a young experience I had with Nabisco Company and Chips Ahoy, if I may. I was around 8 or 9, and the first ever email I ever wrote on the internet, was to Nabisco, and I went to their website, and I researched, and I found, like, company websites were way more corporate back in like the late 90s. And I found their research and development department, and I decided to contact them. And I was like, hey, you guys, I think I just invented this cookie. I feel like I got this idea.
So this wasn't a contest. You just reached out to them and was like, hey, guys, brilliant idea.
Unsolicited. I was just like pitching my idea, just sending it out there like, guys, I think I just invented a cookie. Basically, I was at my grandmom's house, and I was like, what would happen if I took 2 Chips Ahoy cookies and I put peanut butter in between? And by God, it turned into my like favorite cookie this summer of like 1997, 1998, whichever year it was. I forget how long ago this was. But I was like, yeah, you guys should totally make this cookie. I think it would sell a lot. You know, me as a young girl, like I'm pitching this. Well, you know, it was funny too because I sent the email multiple times because it was like a form on their website and I didn't know if it went through or anything. Well, would you know, I actually got an email back thanking me for my email, thanking me for, you know, being such a loyal customer of Nabisco and, you know, how creative the idea was. But then like in the email, it just kind of like discussed about their research and development process and like how long it actually takes from the conceptualization of an idea for a cookie to introducing it to the market. And they were like, oh, about 1.5 to 2 years. Well, would you know that 1.5 to 2 years later, it was a commercial. The Chip Boys, or who were they?
Chip Boys.
No, that's the claymation chocolate chip guys.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what they were called.
But they had that song "Don't You Want Me, Baby" to drive around in the cars.
Yeah,
that was one of the first times I remember.
Yeah,
the Chip Boys.
So a commercial comes out, and lo and behold, there's my cookie. There's my cookie. It was my cookie actually became one of the cookies introduced in the Cream Witches line, which was like 2 Chips Ahoy cookies with some type of filling. But they did have one that was like a peanut butter sandwich cookie with 2 chocolate chip cookies between it. But, you know, I was really bitter. I was really sour for a long time. But luckily, like, it didn't last too long because then they came out with the Chips Ahoy, the ones that are filled, which they still run. And tonight we have the Red Velvet.
Which are new.
So
says the package.
So says, yes. Okay, so this doesn't have the crazy, like, lift tab. We have to open this the old-fashioned way.
Which is similar to the other limited edition Oreos, where it has to open up on the side.
Yeah, is it like, do they want them to go stale?
Oh, never mind.
Oh my gosh, I didn't see it. I feel so foolish.
Nope, they open just like the other limited edition Oreos. We open this the correct way, and they slide out of the side.
Okay. So, wow. Upon opening the package, they are really...
They look like little teeth inside those cookies.
They're vibrant, and the chocolate chips look vicious. Very vibrant.
Like, I think that cookie's gonna bite me rather than me biting it.
Okay, so they're soft. They're clearly, like, part of the chewy line. Wow, they smell like devil's food cake.
They smell like cream cheese.
I smell that, too. Oh, my God.
Oh,
smell
I'm dropping teeth.
Oh, God. We'll vacuum that up later.
Or the cat will eat it.
The cat will eat it. Exactly. So this is what a Red Velvet filled Chips Ahoy cookie looks like. Cheers.
I think you got more filling than I did.
Did I? Mine's like more of a pocket. Yours is more evenly distributed.
I'm disappointed. I like the pocket idea better. It's like when you're eating the donut. When you get to that center filled part, it's just a huge pocket of Boston cream, and I love that.
You know,
that's what I like in a cookie.
This actually kind of reminds me of the Red Velvet Oreo cookies that came out like a year or so ago. Very good. Very tasty. Actually, it's my favorite of the 3 so far.
I still think I like the OG, the original.
You're about that OG?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so now I'm going to try it with a dunk.
I also like to rate my snacks and I can enjoy for a long period of time in an evening. These cookies I could probably get sick after 2 or 3. The originals, though, I could probably eat the whole pack of and not feel sick until the next morning.
It's probably because it's like real ingredients. Real-ish ingredients.
I like to be able to enjoy my snack throughout the evening.
Indeed. Indeed. I've definitely eaten 3 cookies. I'm usually like a to and through girl, but these episodes, like
For science.
for science, and for the general public knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That was really rich.
Exactly. A little bit too sweet. But I guess that's what red velvet does
That's kind
to
of
you.
what red velvet is. And you know, I have like high red velvet standards because a lot of my family lives in North Carolina, and I have this aunt who is like the best when it comes to red velvet. So when products market that they have a product that is marketed as red velvet, I have a high bar. And this at least gets to the bar. It doesn't like exceed the bar. It doesn't really like fly over the bar. I'm not like, wow, this is just like, it's good. It's very good.
It's adequate.
It's adequate, yeah. So you have like a Chips Ahoy haiku.
But first, there's a special guest.
Oh my gosh.
They are the Chips Ahoy Oreo crossover, bringing it full circle to last episode.
Whoa, this is like, it's both of America's most purchased cookies in one. The Oreo, number 1. Chips Ahoy, number 2.
This one even says lift for cookie joy, unlike the other ones that just say lift.
Yeah.
They know you're going to be
Lift.
in a world of pleasure with this one.
It's kind of like, it's Inception. It's like cookie Inception. It's like literally a cookie within a cookie. How do they do that?
Looks like you could also mix the pack and not even notice.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they look exactly like the Chewies.
So that way just like, oops, I got Oreo in my cookie. You don't even know it.
That's like the old Reese's
Sabotage.
commercials.
Mm-hmm.
You got peanut
Oh, I
butter
got cookie in my cookie.
You got cookie in my
My
cookie. Alright.
Ooh, this smells like
It smells fresh baked.
kind of like garbage at the same time.
Oh, don't hate us, Nabisco.
We love you. We're buying all of your cookies.
We are. Even my cat. You love those cookies a little too much. Ooh, come here, baby. Go ahead.
This kind of reminds me of summer.
Why?
Sort of tastes like chlorine.
You know, you say that and then you ruin it for me.
You already
Wait,
nibbled on
where
it, too.
is the Oreo?
It's the cream fill.
It's just the cream?
Yeah, it's Oreo cream.
I thought it was going to be an Oreo inside.
An Oreo encased inside a chocolate chip cookie.
Yes. Yes. Look. I got misled. I mean, I'm not disappointed, but I am kind of disappointed.
Because it is sort of true. There's like a picture of an Oreo
Yeah.
next to the cookie.
Now,
I
for
think it'd be
people who
multi-layered.
don't read and just kind of like gloss over, like,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh.
Like a child that's 4 being like, Mommy, buy me these cookies. Daddy, buy me these cookies. They can't read. They just see the Oreo and the chocolate chip cookie. They're
They
going to
see-
go home and be like, where's the Oreo?
Exactly. I don't even.
For the kids. See, it tastes kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Chips Ahoy, man. Nabisco.
The 2 great cookies collide. Nothing good comes of it.
Yeah, they're best when kept separate in their own 2 worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Special guest, this was not.
I gotta like wash it out. Gotta drink the rest of my milk. But yes, yeah, okay, so you have a Chips Ahoy inspired haiku, which, you know, from now on we'd like to have
A bit of poetry.
a bit of poetry, a moment.
Do not laugh.
Oh, no, I'm taking this
For this-
seriously.
A cookie haiku. Too lazy to bake? Then just turn to Chips Ahoy. Pre-packaged with love.
That's actually pretty accurate. I think that pretty much sums up.
It tries to capture a mother's love of baking cookies, but sometimes
Without
just
the
don't have the time.
without the effort of baking the cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And which I think was the original goal of Nabisco's
Mhm.
chocolate chip cookie, you know?
Worming their way into the kitchen, an easy grab-and-go kind of snack.
The dawn of busy women who just wanted the simplicity of opening up a box to give cookies to their children.
Mm-hmm. And it's consistent. No matter what, no matter where you go, these package of cookies will all taste the same.
It is quite consistent. I mean, you can find these abroad, although they're under different various names, but the packaging is still like the blue, red, white, and blue.
Mhm.
You know? Yeah, well, that's tonight's episode. Watch the first episode if you so choose. I included it in the comments section. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week on another Friday Night Cookies
At 9:30.
9:30 Eastern time.